Today we're going to try and turn Assassin's Trophy into Stone Rain. Hey, it's McFly52 here. Today we're playing a Jund, Chandra, basically all spells deck besides, well, Artist Talent, Festival of Embers, and Chandra here. So this is kind of a Jund removal pile, and the real driving idea of why I made this deck is because Assassin's Trophy is a really cool and unique removal spell that's actually legal in Standard. You've probably not seen it much in Best of 1 Standard, but it is 1 black, 1 green, and it says destroy target permanent opponent controls. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Now, this is a very, very universal removal spell, but the major downside is that you just give your opponent a land, and that's not great. So, what if we just went ahead and exiled all of their lands from their deck using Deadly Cover-Up? That's the idea behind the deck. As we're trying to achieve today. Besides that, we're just removing stuff, picking apart, destroying our opponent's decks, and then maybe just stealing the rest of it with Outrageous Robbery and Chandra. We have a very strong graveyard synergy here with Artist Talent, which says whenever we cast a spell, we may discard, or non-creature spell, we may discard a card and then draw a card, so we can put away all the spells that we don't really care about until later, and then cast them back from our graveyard with Festival of Embers. And yeah, that's the deck. We're playing the End, which is another way that we can exile a bunch of cards from, or one of a particular card from the opponent's library, and we can win with Titania's Command as well as the Outrageous Robbery, or Restless Cottage. It's a very big Jund removal pile. So let's hop into some games and see how we can do on the ranked ladder. Alright, we have the namesake card here. Well, one of our namesake cards here in Assassin's Trophy. Opponent goes first. That is not good. Is this hand keepable? Probably not, but we can Assassin's Trophy turn 2. Maybe that's good enough. Just top deck well. Let's go with that plan. If you enjoy these kinds of videos, subscribe to see more. And yeah. That's Commercial District. That's what I meant to play, so we can Assassin's Trophy. Okay, perfect. Sweeper off the top. If they're playing an aggressive deck, that answers it. If they're playing a slow deck, which it looks like they are, we can just surveil land and try and build up a bit of an advantage. Duress, great, so we can remove maybe a Beanstalk. Oh, Forge. We have the trophy, which can deal with the Forge. It looks like our opponent's actually on a Naya tokens deck, which is a bit annoying. Let's see what you got. Doubling season. Okay, so Naya tokens doubling season. Very, very interesting. And then we can pass before they go to combat. We will want to destroy the Forge, I think. Ooh. Talent is also another thing that we kind of want to remove. Don't really want them drawing cards. I think that's our biggest problem here. So we'll go ahead and do that. They will be able to draw a card every turn, starting next turn with this Fountain Port. Unless we deal with the Forge though, so. But that does tax their mana. Nothing great to do in our hand here. Might just start with the Cease. This is in the deck. I'll actually leave the talent in there so that we can exile it later with a sweeper and potentially remove it entirely from their deck. But this is nice because it's card draw, life gain, and then it's 8 mana value in your graveyard, so you can exile it with your sweeper. Also, I should say this at the beginning of the video. I meant to do it in the intro, but I don't think this deck is incredibly competitive. I've been on the draw like 8 of my last games, and then wait, no, on the play. I can't I've been on the we can ramp with Artist Talent, which is also very nice. I've been on the does this deal with that? No. On the bad side of the play draw for the majority of the game, so it's been a little bit hard to tell exactly how bad this is, but okay, Slagstorm will get rid of that. But I think, unfortunately, that's what we're going to have to do here. Another land allows us to get access to Chandra, which I think is kind of what we want to do. I think we should just get rid of that. They could sack it with a Fountain Port to draw a card. But I don't really want to get hit for 4 because we're going to start dying here very, very soon. Discard and draw. We could discard with Titania's command. Or we could discard the Titania's command potentially. And try and draw answer to the Forge. The land does give us Chandra, but we do need to get rid of the Forge. Maybe... They're not playing any creatures, so the end is actually very bad. Let's just get rid of that. Yep. Oh, they get double counters, so we're just dead outright. Alright, GG. Okay, I just counted up. I've been on the draw... Wait, what? On the draw, yeah, 9 times. And then on the play 4 times, so... We go first this time, let's go! I think we can keep this because we have the theater, go for the throat, Slagstorm if we can find another land. We're playing 25 lands, so we should hopefully be able to hit them a little bit more reliably, since we are a big, slow control deck. Slagstorm, kind of want that land. Opponent knows what we're up to though. If we're playing Slagstorm, we're probably not much of a creature deck. Opponent swamp. That's we drew the 3 Festival of Embers. Oh my goodness. That is very, very bad. I mean, I think we ought to go for that, throw at that, just in case we don't ever draw anything. It would be nice to get rid of it. Surveil land off the top wouldn't be too bad because we can't cast the Slagstorm anyways, so a Surveil land could help us set up our next draw. So hopefully we're able to answer the coming Unstoppable Slasher into Bloodletter of Aklazot's combo. Well, there goes the Slagstorm probably, I would guess. We have 3 Go for the Throats, 3 Assassin's Trophies, 3 Slagstorms, so we have a fair amount of early removal in the deck, but that's why this deck ended up turning into such a just heavy removal pile, is that you kind of need to have a bunch of removal, otherwise you might just die. Mountain does give us Chandra, which we can kill both of those things as long as they don't bat us again. Problem is if they play something else, it could be bad, but we're just going to count on Chandra being enough here. Might be the wrong thing to do. 5 mana, so they have Rush of Dread combo. They could just kill us outright. But Chandra coming in here. We'll get the Slagstorm back, so if they play anything that's a creature, we can double up the Slagstorm, assuming Chandra lives. Probably going to kill it here while I do this. But we also have Festival of Embers to start replaying things from our yard. So we will be getting that Go for the Throat back. And, well, I guess that in the Slagstorm. They do kill it, which is a little sad. Opponent might be just staring at Go for the Throats, nowhere's the runs. Oh, that is not great.
Enough with the mysteries.
I will definitely discard a Festival of Embers. We're not playing Brotherhood's End because we are playing Chandra. Let's go! Top deck of the century. Let's go. We can get rid of all of them from their deck. And now we don't ever have to worry about Liliana, which is pretty... Well, I guess Liliana is not the end of the world, but it's just kind of annoying because we need our Assassin's Trophies, Torch of the Towers, or Maelstrom Pulses, or the end. I guess we actually have a lot, a lot of removal that can deal with. Alright, so we'll play this. We can get to go for throw it back. We can get the end back eventually, so we can remove all of their bloodletters potentially, which sounds pretty good to me. We do have the Restless Cottage, so if they have nothing going on, we should be able to start really punishing them. So hopefully the opponent doesn't have removal, which we can actually go ahead and check for because we got duress. Let's go. Nowhere to run and go for the throat. Or cut down rather. So yeah, nowhere to run with the cut down will result in our thing dying. So we will go ahead and get rid of that. And then we can go ahead and start swinging in, making some foods, gaining some life, all that good stuff. We care about the bats. We can leave. We'll leave the bloodletter in there in case we find our sweeper, and then we can exile all of them in the future. Yeah, we have 6 mana from Chandra, so we can do that if we get it. This ritual chamber is a little annoying, but we don't have our assassin's trophy, so that is gone for good, because whenever things go to the graveyard now, they get exiled. Alright, Chandra, do we force... If they have another Shieldred's Edict, I will cry, but they have 2 cards in hand. Hopefully we're looking at nowhere to runs, go for the throats, but I think a lot of the black decks have started playing lots of edicts, or the Shieldred's Edicts. They've played like several copies of them just because of the Dimir decks that play Kaito, and Kaito can snowball the game very, very well. Alright, so we have a removal for the Unholy Annex and their Unstoppable Slasher, double Assassin's Trophy. Their Deadly Cover-Up also sounds very, very, very nice. We can the end actually. So what we can do is we can Assassin's Trophy the Annex and the Swamp, and then we can cast the end to get rid of everything else. Do we want to do anything with Chandra? Don't think we need to do anything with Chandra here. We're going to lose one of our deadly cover-ups, but that's fine. And then we can get rid of one of their swamps and exile all of the swamps from their library potentially. It does mean that it will top deck nothing but gas, but that is something that we can do here potentially. That is the downside. If we're against a monocolored deck, we can exile all of their basics, which is hilarious. Or if we're against a multicolored deck and they're super, super greedy, this Assassin's Trophy can get pretty crazy. Definitely gonna get rid of the Unstoppable Slasher here. I should deal with all of them in their deck. Have another Annex, which is annoying, but get rid of all these bad boys. And yeah. Goodbye. We will probably go for more card draw here. And hopefully we find a deadly cover-up. Assassin's Trophy, I won't complain about that because it does mean we can get rid of their second Annex here if they go ahead and play it. I'll probably hold off doing that if... Nope, they go straight for it. Which is pretty funny. We do get drained too, but we don't really mind. Massive Titania's Command could turn to just straight lethal, because it makes 2 6/6 bears and 2 4/4 bears, and also can gain us a bunch of life if we want. Alright, so we're gonna do this first. Not really what I was looking for, so do want to get rid of the Annex. Do I want to spend... Alright, we'll get rid of the Annex, and then we'll get rid of a Swamp. We have to play it this turn, I think, because we exiled it last turn. There you go, Swamp. And then have enough mana to double cease on their turn to gain 4 life and draw 2 cards, and then we can also go for the throat, the demon. So we're going to count on being able to do that. I mean, I guess we could go for the throat this turn, but there's no reason to do it this turn when we can wait. Yeah, that is fine. So we'll go ahead and cease to draw some cards. We'll submit 0. We don't actually care. Roll 2. Gain 4.
No turning back now.
We don't really care. Draw card. Gain 2. Lands, that is fine. And then let's get rid of that 6/6 demon. That would hurt like our entire health bar. Alright, so we do need to find removal off Chandra. Actually, we don't need to find removal off Chandra. We have Slagstorm in our graveyard. So we could just double up Slagstorm, get rid of the demon, and then play from there. I think we'll do that. We're down to 23 cards in our library. The opponent's about the same with 29. I didn't do the animation twice and my heart skipped a beat. We are fine. Play the Surveil land. I should have gotten rid of the Festival of Embers here before I did this. Land drop's fine. I think I can just wait on pretty much everything here. Might just take up Chandra. They don't have anything that could kill us at instant speed. They could get rid of Chandra, so maybe we do go for the card draw. Festival of Embers, it's a little annoying to remove. Ooh. We already double sweep, so we can't double up on anything. We could just double cease desist on their turn to draw 2, gain 4. This is the game that I wanted to kind of style of game that I wanted to show off with this deck. It's definitely not the best finisher in Control, but it is pretty fun if you get to just rip apart your opponent's deck. They can't draw into any Lilianas, they can't draw into any unstoppable slashers. It is very funny. We're not going to submit anything, we're going to target ourselves. Opponent doesn't have any reanimation anyways, if they're playing the stock list. Maelstrom Pulse, I can deal with anything that they would play. Deadly Cover Up to get rid of everything. We could sack the food, but I'll just sack the Embers. Nothing in our graveyard that we can cast anymore, so might as well get rid of it so we can start filling up our graveyard for the next Festival of Embers. This means we can Deadly Cover Up twice and remove everything, but I think what we're going to do is try and go for lethal with Titania's command and just cast it twice on our turn. Opponent probably has a removal for all the creatures we'll play, but alright. Or do we don't have lethal with Chandra plus the cottage, so yeah, we'll just double Titania's command, 2 bears, 4 4s. Or 2 bears, 2 counters. Makes 2 4 4s, and then puts more counters on those to make them 6 6s, and puts out another 2 4 4s. I will take up Chandra and crack the food, I guess. So next turn we should pretty much have guaranteed lethal. Assuming Chandra lives. With Chandra, 11 loyalty, we can just take it down, deal 11 damage to the opponent's face. And since this mana is going to go away anyways, might as well use it to crack the food. I don't want to +1 Chandra anymore because we're running out of cards, so if the opponent does somehow slow us down here, we're going to have 10 cards in our library, which I prefer not to go too low. Mishra's Foundry, that is a blocker, but I think we'll be fine. Grinding the soul out of our opponent here. That is kind of what we're doing in Jund Jund Festival of Embers. Opponent probably a little bit upset at how many lands they drew, but I feel ya. Our trick was well, did we draw that many lands? Ah, we have like 2 lands less than them. I don't think it would have mattered if our opponent drew any more lands because or any more non-lands, because we have plenty of removal. We had plenty of removal as well. Alright, we'll keep that. Swing in with everything. And attack. If they have removal for Chandra, that's fine. And if they have removal for our creatures, that's fine. I think we can put ourselves back in the driver's seat with... We don't have to actually target anything if we don't want to with this Festival of Embers, because we'll get Titania's command back. We can also exile all their lands if we really wanted to. Like next turn, we could exile all their lands and then play Assassin's Trophy to start using it as land destruction if we really wanted to. That was kind of the idea behind the deck. It's just like, there's no point in destroying our opponent's lands because they have 11 of them. And so that's kind of why we didn't do it. GG. That game was a very good representative of what this deck wants to do and how games can end up. This deck moves very slowly, but I think the reward, it can be very entertaining. And it's represented by the game lengths. 4 minutes for one of them, 15 minutes for the other one. And if I look at like my previous match history, 18 minutes, 1 minute, 4 minutes, 7 minutes. And then one of them, like there's down the list, there's another like 12-minute game. The games, you get some ones where you just roll over and die, and then you get some games where you mercilessly disassemble your opponent. Alright, this is going to be incredibly annoying. I don't think we have a good answer to their deck. It was probably Dimir Bounce. Playing Talent here is probably not a good idea. They can just bounce it. And if we could have removed their Hopeless Nightmare, which stopped them from putting it back into their hand, but also gives them the land, which I don't think we want to do quite yet. Do we want to force them to deal with the talent? I think let's just do it. Go for the for 1 mana, cut down, eat your heart out. You have to start worrying about them having mana to go off with like Kaido, so they could flash in something here and then attack in and ninjutsu in the Kaido Planeswalker and kind of take over the game from there. I probably should have milled that, but we're not going to. Artist Talent also, like with Chandra and burn spells, the last mode can also be kind of relevant. Works well with Slagstorm, and it turns it into like a burn down the house because it deals 2 additional damage, but our opponent's probably going to, this town ain't big enough, the Artist Talent, and then play the Hopeless Nightmare again, I would have to guess. Whoa. Beseech the Mirror, I guess they could grab the Kaido? Scrying doesn't really matter, assuming their bargain or like this spell resolves, because then they're going to search their library and then shuffle it again. Demonic Pact. Oh, so it's Dimir Pact. Well, it's playing Pact for value. Here, I will give you some value, and we'll call it even. Thoughts? I don't really want you being able to draw 2 cards, make me discard 2 cards, deal 4 damage, and gain life. I will get rid of this land. And then they can replay the Pact a bunch of times with the bounce loop. Ugh, this town ain't big enough, or like Storm Chaser's talent. If this meta continues on for a while, I think you will see something catching a ban, probably. If it turns out to be as prevalent and as strong as it could end up being. Artist talent, do we play this out? Or level this up? Why not? Can still go for the throat at instant speed. If they bounce it, it's whatever. One doesn't want to do anything, so I guess we won't do anything either. We can match that vibe. Could attack him with the cottage, but they're playing Dimir. Let's be real, they're just gonna go for the throat it. They can't target the cottage with their... Okay, that is some value down the line. Playing only 3 of the Festival of Embers because I think it's a really strong card. We played it in... Okay, I guess that gets around ward. But they're probably just using it so that they can bargain again. Oh, is this... Huh. Okay, so maybe they're just trying to give us Demonic Pact with the blue bird. In that case, die. I think we'll discard the Slag Storm. We need to find like Chandra or something. And we can always replay it with the Festival of Embers, assuming we get to have our Festival of Embers. Bird. Yep. So that would have given us a Pact if they were able to get Pact. They gave us a land and a nowhere to run. How kind. That is so kind of you, opponent. I never thought you'd be so nice. Alright, we can remove all the demonic packs from their deck if we can find a sweeper here eventually. Oh. We could also remove every single coveted falcon from their deck. What if we activate the cottage, bait them removal on the cottage, and then we can keep the falcon around to the end it? I don't actually think this works the way I want it. Because I think the falcon... Exile target creatures, search its controller's library. Oh, it searched my own library. Alright, well. That was disastrous. Because we control it, and so we don't get to search our library. Alright, well, we're going to keep the end on top. I could search up like a basic land and stuff, but we can remove that with Maelstrom Pulse. We have 5 basics in the deck. We only have 2 of them out, so let's do this and then... I don't want to draw discard. I guess it doesn't really matter what order I do this, as long as the opponent doesn't make us discard. We can keep all our cards in hand. Opponent could have a counterspell. In that case, there's an argument to keeping the Festival of Embers and the Return Wilds. Okay. It is fine. That gives us something to play. I mean, I could discard the talent. I don't really need it that much. I have plenty of lands. It does give us some value, but whatever. Just, I'll take an Assassin's Trophy. That's better. That's way better. And they play the combo and then give it to us at the same turn. So they need 5+4 mana. They don't have anywhere close to that. So we will land and human or food. I like food because I can bargain off of it more reliably. Grab a swamp. Last turn. I'm so generous of them to give us a swamp. Demonic Pact. I mean, we gave them a swamp. They give us a swamp. It's all fun and games here. We're all having a good time. Here, I'll give you another swamp. No? Okay. Very good opponent. I should teach you a lesson about messing with our hand. Or trying to mess with our hand. Do I play the talent? I think I probably ought to at this point. I don't have much in terms of value in my hand. Is there a way they could flash in the Demonic Pact? I'm trying to think if there's anything in standard that you could use to flash in Demonic Pact. That would be interesting. Like combo or synergy. Okay, so we can Festival of Embers and then get rid of the Demonic Pact again. Oh, they have enough mana to just give it to us. Yeah, we need to get rid of that. Oops, I can't level up the artist talent because I'm slow in the head. I should have done it on my turn. There was like pretty much no reason not to. Okay, opponent. Let's be cool here. We can all be friends. I give you another swamp. And I can't discard this Festival of Embers until I know this one resolves. I give you a swamp and you stop trying to pact me. Thoughts? Trade deal? I could also pillage the bog for 16. Remember when we discarded this like years ago? That is why it's in the deck, is because later on we can just look at the top 16 cards of our library. That is insane. Alright, they're not gonna give it to us yet. They will make us discard our hand though, which would be pretty lame. We played a land this turn, I think. What was the Assassin's Trophy yet? Enough debating, just get rid of it. We can get rid of this Festival of Embers that's in our hand now. Because if they... It's not even big enough. Alright. No pact for you. Oh, they could do it. Ah, we can't do it at instant speed. Well, good game. They packed us at instant speed, I think. Well, they packed us. They can play the pact and give it to us at the same on the same turn. So we can't get rid of the pact if it's on our side of the battlefield. I don't know if the opponent realizes that. Maybe we can win the game before that. I don't know. Really need to hit like a deadly cover up off the top to get rid of all of their all of these crows so they can't give us the pact. What was the card called? Well, we knew what it was. It's coveted, like coveted something or other. Alright. Does this work? Play Chandra, fish for a counterspell. Kinda want Chandra to resolve. Let's do this. Oh, we have a nowhere to run on our side because they gave it to us. How kind of you. Now they have to give itself to us. You're gonna give us a bunch of lands and draw a bunch of cards? I mean, okay, fair enough. What is happening? I don't know. I'm so lost. I'm so lost. What do we do? I'm just gonna search our library. I'm not gonna... You've seen this deck before? Yes. Very nice. Well, props to you, opponent, for doing the right thing and giving us your crow. I could tutor out one of my last lands. Let's do that. Let's make a 1/1. Maybe we can... Maybe we'll get to killing our opponent with a bunch of 1/1s. No, I don't want to get rid of the Chandra. Let's get a mountain. And we can pillage the bog. I should have pillaged the bog for Assassin's Trophy and then just left it be. Alright, top 20, 26 cards. Deadly cover up, that will deal with it. That will deal with it. Okay. Opponent has done a phenomenal job ramping us, which, you know, I'm a big fan of. Edict, that's one that can protect our, now our Chandra is not in danger here. Blazemire Tome, do they run out the Pact? Have we scared them into not... Oh my god, we're gonna do it. We're gonna remove all the packs. We got this. Alright, what do we have in our graveyard that we don't mind exiling? Slagstorm, Maelstrom Pulse, maybe? I can also just do this. It's a little less efficient. We go down and go for the throat, but we're not going to be able to play at instant speed anyway, so the Assassin's Trophy is somewhat similar. We need to get rid of this Festival of Embers eventually, though. Counterspell? Though, if we played Chandra first, we could have doubled it up, but I was afraid they were going to counter the Chandra, but maybe that was the right move anyways. Get rid of all those packs. I'm kind of annoyed by them. Pact, okay. Greed's Gambit, so they can also try and give us Greed's Gambit. We need to, 28 cards, we're 33 cards. Alright, we're chilling for time being. Again, this town ain't big enough for Chandra, which is kind of annoying. They can make a fish, so we can't take it down to 1. We get rid of their Maze Mine's Tome and a land. We can get rid of the Fountain Port and the Maze Mine's Tome with Chandra. Okay, cool. We have a plan. We've made a plan. Do I +1 Chandra? We need to get rid of this Festival of Embers, I think, on their turn. Because we need to start filling up our graveyard again. Get rid of this. And then, owie. Get a few triggers. We draw a card, that's fine. And goodbye, Fountain Port. No free card draw. Well, free in the sense that it doesn't take up a card slot in your deck. It's just a land. No, not gonna do that. We haven't found any of our Torch to the Towers throughout any of these games to just get rid of our Festival of Embers, which is kind of annoying. We'll hold on to the Maelstrom Pulse just in case we need it. Because it can get rid of the Greed's Gambit if the opponent plays it and swaps it to us. So we'll hold off getting rid of the Festival of Embers until their end step. 7 loyalty. We have them 15 life. One card that I was making together another Chandra deck. I love this Planeswalker, man. And I'm going to be sad when it rotates at the end of this year. But I was putting another Chandra deck together, and one of the cards that I was testing with Chandra is it's like Return the Favor, and you can copy or redirect like a spell or ability. And so you can copy Chandra's tick down. So if you have enough loyalty on Chandra, you can double up the amount of damage it does. One has still somehow is finding all the lands in the world, so they are going to be able to give us this Greed's Gambit. So in that case, they also have the mana to, this town ain't big enough. They wanted to, so they could do that, but
You can't slow me down.
they might do it at our end step. Wait, did we get rid of all the crows or the packs? We got rid of all the packs. We should have gotten rid of all the crows. That's not bad. Well, the packs are still also pretty bad. We're going to try and get rid of all the crows, I think. Alright. So we get rid of the Festival of Embers, I guess. We have to make a final decision on this. They can give it to us at instant speed, so they can wait until like our end step. So I think we do need to get rid of it. It's also... Oh wait, it just doesn't go to our graveyard, so we don't We need to cast something to put something into our graveyard with Deadly Cover-Up. Alright, Chandra, give me something to play, please. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. No. About as perfect as you can get. We're going to start having some problems. With this Greed's Gambit, because they're going to give it to us now. We need to find something to get rid of the Greed's Gambit. I mean, they can just give us all their creatures as well and draw a bajillion cards. They're all going to die. So we should discard a Deadly Cover-Up to try and it's not an answer. We can go ahead and level this up, I guess, and then play this and get rid of all these Falcons for once and for all. Gosh darn it. We could keep the Maelstrom Pulse just in case we have another one. Or we find... Okay, this, as much as it pains me, I think this is the right move. Maelstrom Pulse means that if we do find like a... we don't mind discarding a land at our end step. Alright, get rid of these Falcons. They're very, very annoying. That is a pretty nice hand. They have another Greed's Gambit. Alright, so they can, the alternative for them to winning now is a Storm Chaser's talent loop with this town ain't big enough, which is pretty freaking annoying. Let's just level this up. We have this Mortuary, so we're going to discard a card, lose 2 life, and sack a creature. Wait, I could just played it. Let's not talk about that. I should just played that. Oops. Alright, this town ain't big enough. They play it. God, I hate this loop. I can't wait until like somebody finds the good meta answer to this town or Storm Chaser's talent and this town ain't big enough. Hopeless Nightmare is just another cherry on top of how to make it the most miserable thing in the world. Hallelujah. All right. Leave me the hell alone. All right, we're still gonna die to this town ain't big enough and Storm Chaser's talent, but let's just pause on that thought for a moment and appreciate. Wait, we can get rid of this town ain't big enough. Wait a minute. We're okay. I still believe. There's some way that we're still gonna, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out, please. We're on 3 life. Okay, now they just level it up all the way, and whenever they cast it in or instant or sorcery, they make an order, so we have to somehow overcome that. We've disassembled our opponent's deck. Can we just deck them somehow? What is that card called? Off the Top is what we need right now. What is it called? Outrageous Robbery. They have 11 cards in deck. We probably have enough mana to get them. Please. Outrageous Robbery? No. We still lose. And another land. So close. Alright, that is where we're going to stop for this deck. Let me know if you're still watching now. Like, if you just post a comment down below, because I would have played another, but I feel like most people, once they see the deck do its thing once, they're like, okay, and they stop watching the video. So let me know if you are watching still. But I think we had a pretty good showing with this deck. We only won one of the games, but we only got to play three games because each game took so long, or like particularly the last two. So I think that demonstrates the kind of play pattern with this deck, which I just love Chandra, and I think it's really funny what you can do with this deck. Is this a deck like a daily driver in the sense that I'd probably play it a lot? Maybe not, especially since I think technically with that loss, I am 7-8 with the deck for this particular version, which I settled on. So let me know what you think of the deck down below. If you're still watching, consider checking out some of the other videos on the channel. Subscribing helps out a ton. And yeah, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Take care of yourself. Ciao.